sure, but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost sugar of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame. Now I think, hell, it could be my fault.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right. Anybody on the cruise ship today?
Nope.
Well, this is Kauai, one of our biggest towns on the island. It's a gorgeous day to go fly around our island today. I'm really excited to share it with you. Now, not much of our island is accessed by road. Less than 30% of the island is accessed by road.
My heel had to cruise on back home, but there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on.
Now, if this is anybody's first time in a helicopter, sometimes you're going to feel bumps and dips, and that's normal. That's just part of being in a helicopter.
Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault.
Are there any snakes on the island?
No snakes. Nope.
There's a woman to blame, and I know it's my own damn fault.
To the center of the island off our front right. That's one of the wettest places on Earth. Very rare you can see the top of the island. A couple times a year that happens. So I suspect later in the day it'll be covered in clouds. So that's Mount Waialeale. We'll get closer to that at the end of the flight. The island has 7 different microclimates based off of temperature, elevation, and moisture. So the center of the island's a swamp, one of the wettest places on Earth. Other parts of the island, like Poipu off our left, are very arid and dry. Where's everybody staying on the island?
Grand Hyatt.
Grand Hyatt, nice.
Royal Sonesta.
Royal Sonesta, perfect. Very cool, guys. So the Grand Hyatt's off our left there. Now, a lot of these pastures used to be full of sugarcane from the 1830s to the 1990s. Now, most of the jobs used to be in the sugarcane industry. They built a lot of reservoirs to water the sugarcane as well, so you'll see a lot of reservoirs today. But growing sugarcane here was really expensive, so they did stop growing sugarcane here in the 1990s. Now, most of the island works in tourism. About half of the jobs on the island are in tourism. So thanks for coming to visit, guys. The main highway that travels around our island is off our right here. It covers 2/3 of the island's perimeter. You can break off the main highway and head south into Poipu, and you would drive through what we call the Tunnel of Trees. 500 eucalyptus trees that line the highway. We're going to fly right over it. You might be able to see some cars driving through the tunnel of trees.
at it.
Now, if this is anybody's first time in a helicopter, sometimes we'll feel dips and bumps, and we'll get a couple of those as we head into the mountains here. All these other trees out here are part of a renewable energy project, so they cut the trees down, turn them into lumber and then wood chips, and they burn them in that tan building off your right there, and that creates combustion and power. Other types of energy we use on the island include fossil fuels, solar power, and hydroelectricity. Now, is my volume okay? You guys can hear the music playing too? All right. I saw a couple chuckles with the Wi-Fi though, so I'm glad you can hear the music. Now, we're coming around to the southwest side of the island. To our left is the town of Kauai, which is home to one of the biggest coffee farms in the United States. It's called Kauai Coffee. Now, out near the power lines and along the beach are the coffee fields. There's 29,000 coffee trees out there. And Kauai Coffee also does a self-guided walking tour. They have a shop where you can get some free samples and souvenirs. It comes in a blue bag.
Does it compare to Kona coffee?
Yeah, so Kona coffee is great. It can only be grown in the Kona region on the Big Island. So we have a lot of similar blends, but nothing that we can call Kona. Now we're heading into a valley here to our front right. Now, have you guys seen Jurassic Park, the very first one that came out? Yeah, all right. Well, this valley here is where the opening scene was filmed. So the opening scene of that first Jurassic Park is in a helicopter. They fly right through this valley. And if you remember, they landed at a really big waterfall. Upstream here in this valley is that waterfall, so we'll go find it here in a few minutes. Waterfall is called Mana Vaipuna. It's 400 feet tall. So that waterfall in front of us is Mana Vaipuna, or Jurassic Falls. You will see there's a lot of other waterfalls in the valley today. That's because we've had a lot of rain in the last few days. There's trees trees out here that were destroyed during a hurricane. Those are old ohia trees. That hurricane was in Nikki, 1992, which was the same year Jurassic Park was filmed. So they actually used that bad weather to do some of the filming outside. How's everybody feeling with the turns? Alright. Well, there's no roads out here, no hiking trails. The only way to see Jurassic Falls is by air. So you guys have seen more of the island in 15 minutes than most people that live here their entire life. This land is owned by a family whose last name is Robinson. Their matriarch, Elizabeth Sinclair, bought this land in the 1860s. She had moved here from New Zealand and bought 50,000 acres from the Hawaiian king. And she paid just over $17,000 for it. And her heirs still own the land today. They live out here. Now, the Robinsons also own an island called Niihau, which is off our front left. It's a private island. It's home to 80 Hawaiians, and the Robinsons have some rules for the people that live there. No guns, no alcohol. And they don't have any stores or roads, so they fish, farm, and ranch for their food. They speak the Hawaiian language. We're coming around to the west side of the island where Waimea is. Captain Cook landed here in the 1770s, but the Polynesians came to Hawaii around 900 AD. They canoed here. It was over 3,000 miles, which is further than the distance between LA and Honolulu. A pretty long journey in a canoe. They navigated by the stars and the wind. When the Polynesians came here, they brought with them plants like the coconut tree, taro, and sweet potatoes. And they also brought with them animals like the chicken, pig, or goat. I'm sure you guys have seen a few chickens since you arrived. The first chickens came in 900 AD, so we're more than 2,500 miles away from North America and even further from the continents like Australia. So that means we don't have predators here. So no snakes, like we said earlier, no foxes, bears, nothing like that. Just a lot of really happy chickens and pigs and goats. Now in front of us, this is the west side of the island. This is Waimea State Park, the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Now, you can drive into this state park. The highway's on the ridge up there. Has anyone been into Waimea State Park yet? Yeah, awesome. So that highway you took is up there on that ridge. That's an old shield volcano. The Hawaiian Islands are full of shield volcanoes. They form in a lava hotspot deep underneath the ocean near the Big Island, or the island of Hawaii. Shield volcanoes are formed slowly by the magma stacking itself on top of each other. And those shield volcanoes form the largest mountains in the world, except they're all underneath the ocean. Eventually, they come up to the surface, forming the Hawaiian Islands. We have the 8 main ones. and 130 more north of us. We have so many islands because we're on a tectonic plate slowly passing by the lava hotspot. This red color is caused by minerals that were in the lava. One of those minerals was iron. So iron oxidizes with the air, making it a beautiful red color.
Oh.
This is Waipo'o Falls here. It's 800 feet tall.
Like your office.
Yeah, me too. Best office ever. Now, this is the west side of the island here. In front of us is Barking Sands Naval Base. It was an important naval base during World War II. They launched the B-17, B-24 bomber out of there. Now it's called Barking Sands because legend has it if you rub the grains of sand together, they'll make a popping sound that sounds like a dog barking. Now if you were to drive all the way through the Waimea State Park, eventually you'll get to the Kalalau Lookout, which is near that radar dome to our right. You make that drive, it's a good idea to do it in the morning because oftentimes what happens is as the temperature warms up, clouds form on these ridges and you can't see down into the Pacific. These radar domes of our left are part of the biggest missile range in the world. This is the Pacific Missile Range Testing Facility run by NASA, the Navy, and the Air Force.
Is it our first line of defense from the east, from like Korea or China?
One of them. Now we're going to head out to the Nepali coast. Nepali is only accessible by foot. There's no roads out here, but you can see it by the air and water. Now we're going to see the most weathered cliffs in the world out here. They're weathered by millions of years of wind and rain. The water is really clear, so you'll see coral reefs and sea caves today.
Tell us about the ridges coming down, the age or...
Yeah, they're millions of years old, carved by water and wind. Some of them are as high as 4,000 feet tall. We call them spires. So the iron in the lava rock actually corrodes the basalt lava. So the mineral iron is eroding the lava rock, making it more porous and susceptible to all this wind and water. This is Kauai Beach here, backs up to these cliffs that we call the cathedrals, because they resemble the Roman cathedrals. These are the most weathered cliffs in the world. This is Kauai Beach off our left here, only accessed by hiking out. It's 11 miles each way. Movies like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Pirates of the Caribbean have all been filmed out here. This is the Kauai Valley here. Over 5,000 people used to live in this valley. They would grow taro in these fields and also farm. You might see the Kalalau Trail along this ridge here. This water gets a beautiful turquoise color from the sand being pulled away by the current, and sunlight reflecting off the sand and the water. You'll start seeing more sea caves. There's one big one out here called Ho'olulu, which means the resting place. You can imagine the Polynesians taking a break in there as they traveled up and down the Nepali coast. This sandy beach coming up is Hanakapiai.